Support the story by liking it and sharing your thoughts in the comments. I read every one. Thank you. My name is Arden Hale. If you had asked me a year ago what I believed marriage rested upon, I would have said trust, shared laughter, and the quiet assurance that the person beside you is your partner in life. I never imagined a single sentence, delivered with a smirk and glossed lips, could undo a decade of that belief. It all began on a Friday evening, the kind that feels almost too calm to harbor disaster. I was tidying up after dinner when my wife, Leah, walked into the kitchen as if she had no plans to return home soon. She wore a shimmering silver dress, heels she saved for special occasions, and a perfume reserved for nights when she wanted attention. She slid her phone into her clutch and announced casually, "I'm heading to Nightshade with Celeste and the girls." I looked up in surprise. "You never mentioned this." "It's a last-minute plan," she shrugged, checking her lipstick in the microwave's reflection. "Leah," I said, trying to keep my voice calm. We had discussed how nightclubs made me uneasy. The crowds, the drinks, the random strangers. She snapped the microwave door shut. "Arden, don't start. You're being controlling." "I'm not trying to control you. I just want respect." She laughed, short, sharp, dismissive. "Respect? You don't owe me. If you don't like something, get a divorce." Just like that. 10 years together. Dismissed in a single line tossed over her shoulder. Something inside me shifted. Not broke, not shattered. Just moved into the place it should have been long ago. I looked at her, the woman who had once cried when I surprised her with hot chocolate during a snowstorm, and I realized she wasn't that person anymore. Perhaps I wasn't the same man either. I replied calmly, as you requested. Her lips parted, gloss and stunned. Her eyes locked on me, really seeing me for the first time that evening. But instead of asking for clarification, she scoffed and waved me off. "Whatever. We'll talk later." She left, heels clicking, perfume trailing, the front door closing like the last line of the chapter. I didn't follow. I didn't call anyone. I didn't sit down. I went into the office and opened my laptop. The divorce papers had been ready for months. Not because I wanted to leave, but because I feared the day she might push me too far. Our marriage had been fraying for years. Cold shoulders, silent dinners, nights she disappeared with friends without warning, mornings she scrolled through her phone as if I weren't even there. I had clung to hope far longer than was healthy. But tonight, her words were not anger. They were truth. I signed the papers electronically, sent myself a copy, and forwarded them to her with one simple line, "As you requested." Then I placed my phone on the table and waited, not expecting anything, just watching to see who she became when I refused to play the role she'd written for me. It took 3 minutes. I heard gravel crunching in the driveway, fast, reckless. The door burst open. Leah stormed inside, barefoot, heels in hand, hair messy from a rush. "Arden," she panted, holding up her phone with the email on display. Mascara streaked her cheeks. "What the hell is this? You said if you didn't like something to get a divorce." I replied evenly, "So I did." Her eyes scanned my face, seeking anger, hurt, love, anything. But I was done offering pieces of myself to be judged. "You're not serious," she whispered. "I am." "You can't do this. You can't just decide." "You decided first," I said. Silence stretched between us, raw, honest, unfiltered. She sank into a chair, clutching her heels like lifelines. "Arden," she whispered, "please, we need to talk about this." I nodded once. "All right, let's talk." She trembled, mascara marking her vulnerability. For years, she assumed my love was a quiet constant, unshakable, something she could bend without breaking. Maybe she was right once. But the man she left standing in that house minutes ago was not the same one she faced now. "I didn't mean it," she admitted, wiping her face. "Then why did it come out so easily?" She swallowed. "Because you were judging me. Always." I asked for communication, not control. I said, "There's a difference." Her eyes flickered, shame or recognition. I couldn't tell. She placed her heels on the floor with care, suddenly aware of her presence. "I shouldn't have gone," she murmured. "Not like this. Not after everything." It's not about the nightclub, I said. It's about dismissing our marriage as if it meant nothing. Her gaze sharpened. It does matter. Arden, don't pretend it doesn't. I remained silent, letting her twist her fingers as she had when scared. Watching her this way reminded me of how I had felt alone for months, maybe years. When did we lose respect for each other? I asked. She flinched. I don't know. I do, I said softly. When honesty became optional, when nights outreplaced nights together, when your friends became confidants, and I became a calendar reminder. I never meant to push you away. But you did, I replied. And you didn't stop, she breathed shakily. Tell me what you want, she pleaded. I'll do anything. That's the problem, I said. I don't want obedience. I want care. I wanted actions because you chose them, not because I demanded them. Her face fell. We were silent again. The air felt heavy, the walls echoing choices we could not undo. Finally, she looked up. I don't want a divorce. I was careless. I thought you'd always stay. I didn't realize how far I'd gone. If I hadn't stood up for myself tonight, you would have kept pushing, I finished. Her silence confirmed it. What happens now? She whispered. I don't know. I admit it, but I can't go back to the way things were. I can change, she pleaded. Please, Arden, give me a chance. I shook my head gently. You can't fix what you refuse to admit was broken. Should I leave? She asked. I didn't answer. I let the question linger. She stepped closer, carefully. Just tell me one thing, she whispered. Do you still love me? I do, I said honestly. But love without respect is just attachment. That's what we became. A quiet sob escaped her. I don't know how to fix respect, she murmured. You start by listening, I said, by choosing us without being asked, by not running to a nightclub out of boredom, and by not treating divorce like a joke. She nodded, slowly absorbing each word. I want to try, she whispered. I want to heal, I replied. Together? She asked timidly. Yes, together, I said, but with boundaries, honesty, and mutual choice, not threats. Relief washed over her, but her eyes told her this was not victory. It was a beginning. I'll earn your trust back, she promised. And I'll rebuild mine, I said. She stepped near, but did not reach out. Perhaps she finally understood that love is not guaranteed. It is a daily decision. For the first time in years, she wasn't performing for attention. She resembled the girl I once knew, the one who cried in thunderstorms and held my hand in grocery lines. But this time, she did not take my hand. I did not offer it. Healing begins with distance, not closeness. I'll do better, she said. And I'll notice if you do, I replied. That night, we did not sleep in the same bed, not out of anger, but out of understanding. Sometimes, the path back to each other starts with standing apart.